Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, everybody. So I went back and forth a little bit today about what kind of presentation I was going to do. And I thought because I'm a brand new member, I'm going to focus right in on just the core of what we are. Because the way to think about websites is we are your digital architects in the group. So you've got architects who can support, electricians and builders, and that goes on to painters and decorators, and that goes on to Steve, and that goes on to Alex, and it trickles through. People now need the exact same consultancy when it comes to digital and understanding how to actually build themselves an ecosystem that can automate their processes, save their time, make sure that they're making money while they're not actually doing anything. If things like COVID happen and it knocks down bricks and mortar, making sure that there are actually solutions in place to help manage what's happening in your life. That's what websites are. So it's criminal how many people really don't actually understand or appreciate what websites can do for your business. The power of technology, honestly, is behind anything that's really happening at the moment. So in terms of my business, our website design and development is absolutely our bread and butter. It's where we started 27 years ago. So this next page is just a little cover photo. So this is a list of industries that we work in, and one thing that I'm quite keen to emphasize today is that we're not just at the top end of the market in terms of cost. I'm a little bit guilty sometimes of giving off the impression that we only deal with mega expensive projects, and it's really just not true. So in terms of the kind of sectors that we are comfortable in, we deliberately don't have a niche. We don't say that, look, we specialize in dentists. There are companies out there called Dental Focus who do almost all of the websites for all of the dentists in the UK. We do the majority of their development work behind the scenes, but they focus on dentistry because it's a marketing opportunity for companies like Gary to go and run a campaign on LinkedIn and just sweep up all the dentists in the country. So we don't specialize in a niche, and that's mainly for the reason that it's boring. I don't want to give the same consultancy to the same industry every single day. I get to learn about different businesses repeatedly, 4 or 5 different businesses a day. And after 10 years, I'm privileged and lucky enough that there are very few industries I actually can't talk about with quite a lot of authority and give people guidance who are 3 times my age, 3 times more experienced, that they end up valuing, and then we become an important part of their business. It's empowering, it's fun, it's enjoyable. Next slide, please. So this is the crux of my presentation. I'm going to run you through a process of what a bespoke website design and development looks like in a way that, please, if nothing makes sense, just call me out and go through it. I really want everyone to understand this. So when you're designing a website, the very first part of the process that you are actually going to discuss with is a kickoff call. That's it. Someone's going to decide to want to work with you, and you're going to say, okay, great. In terms of this website, what are you looking to achieve? Because clients often don't know what they want, right? People pay us for our expertise. So if someone comes to me and says, okay, I've got a little budget, that's what I want to build. We're not the type of company to say, great, thank you, sir, we'll build that for you, see you later. It's more, okay, I understand what you want to build, but just quickly answer me the question of what you're actually wanting from this. Where do you want to be in 12 months that represented us working together being a good decision? So you've got to understand what this website is serving, right? What do I want people to do when I get there? Then once you understand that, you can apply a design. Now, 50% of clients out there, they know what they want. They've seen a competitor's website, they've got an indication, they are very, very crystal clear. The other half of the market are, this is what I'm paying you for, right? Show me what my flow should be, which are much our preference, because then we're not limited by clients who are kind of trying to make a really lovely design, something a little bit more boring. So we'll then go into the design process where my design team will do their research, look at the competitors, figure out what your demographic is, because your demographic might not be the top end of the market. It might actually be the lower end of the market, in which case that yields a different design because you want to have the right action. And if you are approaching people who are far less tech savvy, you're going to build the website accordingly to make sure that you still get that lead, right? But even if your demographic isn't particularly tech savvy or they're much, much older, you still need the site. The website is the house, it's the core, it's the data churner. So in terms of people like Gary and all the people out there who are, or what we're doing right now, right, this is exposure. Websites have this ability for you 24/7. It's just the difference. They are an epically more scalable version of exactly what we are trying to do right now. So we then present the designs to the client. guys, following everything that we've discussed, this is what we think you need. We don't send those designs to the client and then say, have a look and then come back to us. We get on a call, we present them and we go through it. Again, the reason being is clients might not quite understand why certain design elements have been applied. But if you consult them and explain why it's there, then they'll want it. Rather than, oh, that doesn't look pretty, no, I'll tell them no. But once it's built, they would have been like, oh, why didn't I have that? Right? It's much better to sort it all out. Jamie will testify. It is mega frustrating to do a design, get it approved, build it. Again, think architects. When it's a floor plan, it's a 20-minute job to figure out changing a kitchen to a bathroom. But once you've approved the floor plan and you've built a mansion, it's a 35 grand job to change a kitchen or a bathroom. It's a much different thing. So the design is the opportunity to include the client and make sure you know what you're delivering. That communication avoids issues later down the line. You approve those designs with the client. A level of back and forth. Once it's approved, we then proceed to number 2, which is website development. Simply put, we build what you were looking at. From static imagery, it now becomes a fully functional, working beta website. 3, we'll get your content, we'll plug it in, we'll go through a whole testing and make sure, 1, you understand how your website works, you understand where to get the data from, you understand how to create new pages. It's not complicated. You get very addicted to it very quickly. It's very fun, and you can constantly be developing and growing out what is your house. Then we get ready and we launch an agreed time, and then our hosting and maintenance service starts. So again, we are not the type to just build you a website and then see you later, guys. We build a website and then you are with us for hosting and maintenance. It's a nominal fee for the year, and it covers you for free support in terms of things like, oh, I can't get this image to go up right, please can you help? Just email in support, it will be done, and we're here to help. That allows us to actually get to know our clients, because as a lot of you know from me already, we are much more than just a company that build websites. I'm a registered football agent, which is something I've said repeatedly, but it offers me a lot of opportunities to be a good member as well. So in the digital media space, that is the general core process in terms of getting efficiently from the start of a website project to the end in a way that your client's going to get what they need rather than specifically what they think they may have wanted. Next slide, please. I'm going to rattle through these. These are a few case studies to give you an idea of how to refer to me. So Itsu came to our table because they had an opportunity for a new digital media agency to get their contract. Their big thing, this was years ago, was we have global presence, we're not making enough money. They weren't profitable enough as a business. So they put it out to digital agencies saying whoever gives us the best suggestion is the one that we'll go with. So we just piped up very quickly, knocked out a very pretty design and said enter retail. If you want to make more money, that's the way you're going to do it. Itsu are now famously in every supermarket. They've got their prawn crackers, they've got all these products. We develop the packaging, we help with the infrastructure, we executed that whole plan. So that's an example of something that we can do in terms of consultancy on a web-based system that has allowed a business to completely change its financial model. Next. This is one of my favorites of all time. I'm a massive film buff, and Elstree Studios wanted to get a new website. They had incredibly simple requirements. They got charged £25,000 plus VAT from every other competitor that pitched for that job. I went in at 3.5 because that's all their requirements were. They weren't going to work with me because they were certain I wasn't as good as the competition. I would not let her make that decision. I said, I'm not having that. You're not working with me because I'm the only one quoting you fairly. We got the job. They've been a client of ours now for 5 years. They're one of our best referrers. So that's a really nice story to just emphasize the point. We charge based on requirements. It's got nothing to do with anything else. So a low-cost job, easy requirements. It could be £100 if it's a quick and easy thing. Next slide, please. Ethical. This is the other side of the coin. This is a mega ambitious person who has made an entire life change. So she's a lawyer, very successful, and she wanted to create a marketplace with ethically sourced brands to promote and really go and take on Amazon in terms of becoming an ethical leader in that space. We consulted, built this thing with her from the ground up in terms of how it was going to work, commission splits, the whole thing. This system is up, it's out, it's making a lot of sales, it's winning awards left, right and center. So that is a huge job. That was 150 plus, but something we're quite proud of to have developed. Next, please. This is just some of the logos of some of the sexier guys that we do work with. So I do luckily have close relationships with a lot of these brands. People wonder what work we do with Apple. We do a lot of work with Apple. Apple work with independent developers a lot. And we're working on some of the latest machine learning technology, which is very, very cool. And I think, next slide, I'm perfectly timed to say, that's my team, a few pretty pictures. We've been around for over 20 years. Next slide. That's it.
Well,